guys, what's up? Today we're going to be doing a HackerRank problem. It's called Compare the Triplets. Guess let's dive right into it. I'm going to read a bit of the problem and then I'm going to try to explain it with my own words. Alice and Bob each created one problem for HackerRank. A reviewer rates the two challenges, awarding points on a scale from 1 to 100 for three categories: problem, clarity, originality, and difficulty. The rating for Alice challenge is a triplet, um, where it's A of 0, A of 1, and A of 2, so that is the order. And it's the same thing for Bob. I guess in the end of the day, what we're just trying to do is given two arrays. Let me explain this in plain English. Given two arrays, I guess in this example it's actually lists. HackerRank uses lists way more than they do arrays for the questions. Given two arrays, compare the numbers in each index and return how the biggest numbers in each index. I guess that wasn't the best explanation, but I can go through one round with you guys here. I copied it over here and it says 1 2 3 3 2 1 just like it does over here. So we compare A at position 0 to B at position 0. Which is bigger? 3 is bigger than 1. So you add what you return is you add 1 at C at position 1, which is over here. If it was the other way around, if 3 was part of A, then you would add 1 here. So let me just add 1 here. Now position 1, I guess. This is position 0, this is position 1, this is position 2. It's a tie. 2 and 2 are equal, so you basically don't do anything when they are equal. And here, it's the other way around. 3 is bigger than 1, but it's 3 now is in the A list or array, so you add 1 right here. So this is what the output should look like. A list where there are two numbers and each number represents the total amount of categories that were greater compared from A to B. So let me run through another quick example here that they gave. 5, 6, 7, 5 or 3. 5 is bigger, so you add 1 to the first index, I guess index number 0. 6 and 6 are equal, you don't do anything. 7 and 10 or 10 is bigger than 7, so it's again it's 1 1. Couple of things to keep in mind whenever we're to try to solve this. They are both the arrays are the same size always. So this means that when we're doing a for loop, it means that once we're iterating through array A and we get to the end of the array A, we know that it's also the end of array B. So we know that there's no index out of bounds exception. So we just need to iterate through one array, and we know that once that array is finished, then the other array is also finished. Same size. Other thing to keep in mind. Oh yeah, when the numbers are the same, don't add any index by 1. Okay, so a little bit of a pseudocode. What we want to do is compare both arrays at the same index, whichever is bigger, that's not a word, and add 1 to whatever index is greater. Yeah, I guess let's keep it that way. So first of all, they give us a function with that uh, has a list of integers as what they want to return, right? So let's create one and return it. New array list. That's how you array list. That is how. That is what we're gonna have to return. So I guess let me do some spaces here and then return C so that it stops complaining. Return C. Now it's no longer complaining. The compiler is happy. But let's actually solve the code. So what I want to do is iterate through the array, right? So let's iterate through array A, which is, I guess it's a dot size since it's a list. I could do array through array B. It doesn't really matter. I guess we can try this out at the end. It doesn't really matter because they're both the same size always. If a dot get index I is greater than b dot get I, then no. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create, because since adding one to an index in lists is kind of annoying. You would have to do c dot add all or c dot get plus. I think the best way to do this is just create two variables, and then at the end, like, you increment the variables, and then at the end you just set whatever number that variable is to whatever it was. So I'm gonna do a score as a variable, and obviously it starts with 0, int b score equal to 0. So the reason I'm doing this is because at the end I want to do a collections.all, collections.add all. Is that how you do it? I think so. It's called collections, not collection. And then C, I'm gonna add all C, and then a score to the first, and a b score to the second index. There you go. So getting back to the for loop, which is not done. So if a is bigger than b, that means you do a score plus plus. You just add 1 to a score. Else, if basically the other way around. So I'm gonna copy this over here so that it makes more sense, and then I'm gonna invert this, which means that if b is greater than a, b at position I is greater than a at position I, then do a b score plus plus. So the reason I did an else if instead of just an else is that if I do an else and I don't add this, then that means that if they're equal, then they would add a 1 to b score, right? Because if they're equal, I mean, if a is not bigger than b, then the other possibilities are they're equal or b is larger. And if I do it over like this, here it only adds 1 to b score if b is larger. And then I don't really need to do an else at the end, because the other else would be if they're equal, and we know that if they're equal we don't do anything, so we don't need any else. This is the whole for loop. Yeah, I think that's it. So I guess we can try to run this. Okay, I need to log in. Give me a second. Okay, I logged back in. So let's run this code. There you go. We got the correct answer. Let's submit it, and they all work. So let's test this out. What I said earlier. It doesn't really matter if it's a.size or b.size, because since they're both the same size, and we know that once a is finished, b is finished, or and vice versa. That means that I could do either or. Yeah, I guess that's it for this question. It was a really easy one. It is an easy question. I mean, categorized as an easy question here in HackerRank. And they kind of give you a lot of, you know, a whole backstory about reviewer rates, 2 challenges, awarding points, but they're just asking you to compare one array to the other at the end of the day. A good idea is to just look at the sample input and output. Yep. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and check out my other videos. Thank you.